Do you want to find out how hundreds of thousands, if not millions of orders make their way out of Kramp every year? Well, we've got a special tour, so tag along and find out. So we've just had a nearly 2-hour bus drive from Amsterdam. We've arrived at the Kramp headquarters, where we've got a long list of things that we're looking forward to today, but particularly we've got a warehouse tour and a technical services tour. That's going to be the first on the agenda. Can't wait to show you guys around. Hello, I'm Daniel. Nice to meet you.
This is the inbound area where truckloads come in from our suppliers. The products also can be vary a lot. And personally, it's really unique that such a digital company, which does so much sales by the web shop, has such a variety of products. Many retail companies like Amazon or whatever, they concentrate on smaller products which are easy to handle. But we even ship slurry hoses, 8-inch, 6 meters long. And yes, of course, that is not always a product which brings us the best benefit. I mean, it's not always cost efficient, but our customer needs it. So,
and that's more important for you, or?
And I mean, it's relevant for the customer. So then it's our business.
Around 425 people work in the warehouse currently, and that has come from significant growth. When Klaas Peters started in their neighbouring smaller site, they actually used to use bicycles to transport items around the warehouse, which he said was nice, but has been replaced by a far more modern solution. Loosely, inbound deliveries come in the morning and outbound go out in the afternoon, and that continues until 11 PM, when the last truck leaves the premises to one of the many distribution hubs around Europe. From there, the network disperses to the customer. Now, let's take a look at the inbound process.
At Kramp, we have to make sure that we have the right products, and that starts with the inbound process. These colleagues are checking the file, the packing slip. Is this really what we ordered? Once it is in the warehouse, we are too late. So it needs to be checked at the beginning. You will see the grey bins. They are specially meant for our automatic system. The grey bins means it's the inbound flow.
So on those red bins and grey bins that you were just mentioning, the red bins actually go out to the customer, and then they have the opportunity to return them. If they don't, they get charged. On those red boxes, they did trial them in the UK, but they found that nobody returned them. As the tour continues and more questions are answered, we learned that more than 50% of tractors in the Netherlands are 33 years or older. Do you have one on farm that can beat that?
It's everywhere quite the same, because the tractors keep running, and it's cheaper to refurbish. And of course, Kramp has a big role in it, because you can order filters, you can order new seats, you can order new cabin glass, LED lighting. So, I will quit now.
I think he likes his lighting. It reminds me a little bit of that scene in Toy Story when they're chasing all the luggage.
This is our shuttle system with 18 picking stations. Right now it's only inbound. This man is making sure that the new products are assembled, collected with the other bins, so it's more efficient storage. It's more logistics what he is doing, but in the afternoon we have this outbound flow. The computer knows which bin goes to which customer. And in the right time, the computer brings the red bin to the station with the white gray bins which come from the shuttle system. Let's say the customer needs cutting this for his lawnmower. And he needs an oil filter and he needs 2 beacons. The system will make sure that the gray bin with the cutting disc from the storage comes at the right time. The other products come with the oil filter and with the flash beacon. So it's all in the right sequence. This is where we store 65% of the items we sell at Kramp. I can tell you it's not the slurry hose which we store here. These are really the smaller parts, which is our core business. The oil filters, the V-belts, tools, bulbs, lights, whatever. We have 230,000 storage places here, and yeah, the system is fully automatic. The interesting part of this system is in the nighttime, when everyone is gone and sleeps, hopefully, this system works, because in the inbound process in the morning, the system just brings it to the nearest available place. But in the nighttime, the system optimizes the places where to store.
So it kind of gets ready for the next day, kind of
thing?
Yeah,
it gets ready for the next day, but it also moves items which are not needed for the next, let's say, week,
right,
to the back.
Okay.
So that the runtime is really efficient.
Yeah, okay. How many storage spaces were there again, did you say?
230,000.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
How much did it cost?
What, do you want to buy one, Tom?
I don't know the cost. I'm happy that I didn't pay it.
The scale of this thing is incredible. It's kind of almost hard. I'm not sure the camera will quite pick up just how high this building is, how far it goes. When this wasn't here, you could have stored a 747 in here. Staggering. It's just non-stop. Grey boxes with outbound parts coming in, loaded up into the red boxes, and off they go. All of these different lines along here, all working, all the time. The sheer scale of organisation and preparation required to meet such a significant logistical challenge day after day, making sure that these thousands, hundreds of thousands of boxes are arriving where they need to be at the right time, consistently over and over again, is truly impressive to see. And it makes the level of automation required obvious. Anyway, we needed a quick caffeine reload before continuing with the tour.
Now we are in the electric workshop, so you already can see what's happening. And there can be standard parts. So even our customers are not aware that we are doing this, but this is an isobus splitter cable. It's a standard part on the web shop from us. You see here also on the heat shrink the Kramp code, but it's a standard wire, standard connector, standard box. We're mounting the connections in it, making holes in it. So standard parts are coming to us. We are building it till a new Kramp product, and it goes on stock. So that's also what we are doing. And that's why it's always different what we are doing. That's why I have some pictures up. So isobus cables, but also complete control technology. There was asked what kind of language are we programming. So you are seeing here now standard boxes, but it is a Dutch customer, GKB. Switches, standard joysticks on it. We are able to 3D print also logos of customers. Peter is at this moment also building a customer-specific box. So you see the drawing where he's working for, you see the box, what he is producing. But again, I'm liking a copying machine. Every part what you see is a standard part, and Peter is modifying it now to a customer-specific item. And yeah, that's what we are doing. Standard box, all the parts are in it. IFM controller, IFM display in it, and this is programmed customer specific, and this is delivered to the OE wood shredder. This is a wood shredder company, and he's building about 25 machines a year of this, and we are now delivering him again, a complete control technology. We are building about 2,500 mini power packs a year. And every mini power pack is existing of standard parts. But you can choose some different mini power packs, and we are producing 1,300 for stock and 1,200 just customer specific. This is a customer who is going from over whole Europe, and we are building already power packs for him the last 30 years, and also repairing them. So they are sending it from whole Europe back to us, and we choose, is it going to repair overall or does he need a new one? Also about sustainability. Now we are starting with mini power packs, then you go to a power pack, and I think we will have to call this a huge power pack. So here you see the big tank, where the top will go on top of it with electromotors on top of it. So that will be a complete hydraulic unit, and this is a German customer where we are working for now. When a customer has contact with our engineering and he can say, I need so much power, so much flow and so much pressure, it doesn't matter for us what he's going to do with it, because he's delivering all the specs. When we know it, that's just when he's asking, I need a power pack to do this. And then we are asking, how heavy is it, how quick it has to go, and then we know exactly for what it is. En we weten niet waar het voor is. Okay, a nice example what he's giving now. A German customer needs a test facility, so a test hydraulic unit, and the German customer is giving us all the specs, but we don't know what he's going to test with it, because he has given us all the specs. So with all valves on it, with electromotors, with measurement tools on it, sprayed in the color. So this is what the customer is asking, so this is what we call customer-specific hydraulic unit. So you see a complete test facility over here, so we can go up to 75 kilowatt to repair pumps, to test valves, to do the complete measurements. So that's what we are doing here. All issues, what can happen with hydraulics. So this is mini power pack, then you go to power pack, and then you go to, what do we say? Huge power pack. So here you see the unit. The electromotors will come on top of it. We have already built the valves together, PVG. So the complete unit will go in here. And then at the end, when Benno is finished, then we have the next step. And that is maybe a little bit difficult, Benno. Then this, we have to build totally in here. So this was a German company who was doing this kind of work with a big diesel engine on top of it. And now he's going to do it electrical, about sustainability. Now, so we have engineered it from a diesel engine to electro engine with a hydraulic unit built in the container, and this he will bring to the place where he's going to crush the bricks, the stones. This is the workshop where we do everything, but we do something in England what we don't do in all the other workshops. So we are selling moisture meters in all the countries. But an English, now you have to help me, an English farmer has to prove that his grain is dry with a moisture meter, and the moisture meter had to be calibrated with a certificate. So in England, one guy is calibrating moisture meters. That's the only thing what we are doing now in England, because the English market is asking for it.
You have 19 minutes left.
We go further. And I told you in the beginning already, we have two guys on the first two lathes. They are just copying the part when the part is not available anymore. So what we are doing here is modifying chain wheels, gear wheels, V-belt pulleys, making holes, keyways, threaded holes. So that's all one piece, two piece. So that's most of the time conventional work. So the customer is choosing a normal chain wheel and no hands from Kramp. So the customer is choosing the normal sprocket and is asking for a 25 mm H7 hole, and he needs a keyway over there, and he needs a keyway on top of, I need a threaded hole on top of the keyway and a threaded hole on 90 degrees. So 1, 2, 3, 4 modifications on a standard chain wheel ordered today. So an agri sprocket wheel for a Belgian customer, and then you will see spoed, that means urgent. So ordered today, and it will be at the Belgium customer in the night. It's no rocket science, but nobody can do it quicker than us, because every half an hour a van is putting it, not a van, the guy is putting it on the table. And this is, you see it everywhere, you see spoed, and then I'm laughing, this is the most expensive minute, there we are eating from. And this is picked up in a half an hour and goes back to the expedition area, and then it goes to the customer. So this is then done on a conventional lathe. So this is normally 1, 2, 3 pieces. So on these machines we are producing agri shafts. So we are able to produce 80 different profiles. So this is standard material what was on stock over there, and produced on both sides profiles and ball bearing on top of it. And that can go quickly. And this goes to all the countries. So this can go to 24 countries. And on this way we are producing about 5,000 shafts a year. But no big series. The biggest series we are doing on the CNC machines. And most of the time the guys are working in the morning on cylinders, because we have more time. We can work 2 weeks on it. But now, from now, everybody goes on chain wheel service, because all the countries are able to order now, and we have to deliver it at the night. So after lunchtime, after 12 o'clock, everybody is working on the chain wheel service. I have to speed up. Yeah. This is for Norway, how do you say it? Norwegian. In the wood industry, they need a mill shaft with 1/3 T6 agri profile, but with brake pins, that when the torque is too high, that the pins who are inside here can break. So this is something what we have developed then for the Norwegian industry. This is broaching. So on the other side we have seen the profile on the outside, and here when you have a bush like this and you need a profile in here, then we have 28 needles to get an inside profile. That's what we are doing there. Then all the hydraulic parts are going to the welding department, and because we are not doing a big series, it's all handwork. So what Sally is doing, Martin is doing, is just rotating the cylinder with the left hand and welding with the right hand. So we don't have robots, just everything what we are doing are never big series, are always small series, and most of the time it's in a hurry, because the customer is paying more to get a cylinder with a short lead time. But what Wim is doing now, that's a very expensive, it's a 7-section Danfoss PVG, so it will cost about 7,000 euro. It's for a German customer, and we have to spray it in RAL 9005. So everything what Kramp is selling, you can also ask if we are spraying it in the color what you want. And then we have our own little warehouse, because when we have to produce an express line cylinder in 2 days, we are not able to wait 2 hours that I have the parts. So we have many hydraulic cylinder parts here available, so that we can already start with producing it and get the cylinders out of the building on the right time. Trainings about Briggs & Stratton engines, Vanguard, Peerless and TÜV Torque. And they get a theoretical training upstairs, but the practical training we will do over here on the benches, and in the area over there we can speed up an engine, take the gas out of it, it is sucked out. So this is testing, repairing, warranty issues. That's what we are doing here. Almost in time, Peter.
Both the distribution hub and technical services tour were fascinating in their own rights. However, it didn't stop there. We finished up with a talk through the lighting range, followed by a UK webshop talk from UK Field Sales Manager Leo Copping. Time had flown by, and before we realised it, we were handing our passes back.
So thanks for joining us on the Kramp tour. It's been incredible seeing how thousands of products make their way out of that depot every single day. If you've enjoyed, don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more in the future. Thanks for watching.